Hi, once again. This is Miss Lolifica Potter from Azama City, and in this video, I will be sharing to you about how to evaluate instructional materials. To start, let us define instructional design. Instructional design is the science and art of creating detailed specifications for the development, evaluation, and maintenance situations which facilitate the learning both large and small units of subject matter. It shows a systematic method how to plan, develop, and evaluate and manage the instructional process effectively so that it will ensure competent performance by students. Generic processes in instructional design are as follows. First is analysis, which is the process of deciding what is to be learned. Second is design, the process of specifying how learning will occur. And the third, development, the process of authoring and producing the materials. And the fourth is implementation, the process of using the materials or strategies in context, that is, installing the instruction in the real world. And lastly, we have the evaluation, the process of determining the impact of instruction. Instructional systems design is an organized procedure for developing instruction that includes all the aforementioned processes. It is based on the premise that learning should not occur in a haphazard manner, but should be developed in orderly processes and has outcomes that can be measured. Basically, ISD requires defining what is to be learned, planning an intervention that will impel learning to occur, and measuring learning to determine if objectives were met, and refining the intervention until objectives are met. It may integrate these elements. The first is identify instructional problems and specify goals for designing an instructional program. Examine learner characteristics that should receive attention during planning. Identify subject content and analyze task components related to stated goals and purposes. State instructional objectives for the learner. Sequence content within each instructional unit for the logical learning. Design instructional strategies so that each learner can master the objectives. Plan the instructional message and delivery. Develop evaluation instruments to assess objectives, and select resources to support instruction and learning activities. Generally, instructional design includes development processes and approaches to learning which do not fit well with systems orientation and systematic processes of ISD. The conventional ISD models are generally more suited to the developing of instruction, which is centered on a behaviorist theory or cognitivist learning paradigm, and they tend to work better for learning at a lower level of the various taxonomies theorized of learning psychologists. A learning of more complex topics, which represent a higher level of taxonomies, may require a more student-driven model. Instructional design must not exclude the discovery process, which is a collaborative instructional strategy advocated by constructivists. It must offer alternative strategies when they are suitable. It must prescribe strategies for the students. The designer must use a different kind of strategy that guides or coaches the student as the need arises, but does not impose a particular way of learning. That's all. Thank you so much for listening.